Hi, and welcome to Lock Haven's A Senior Moment. I'm Mary Beth Truitt. I'm the marketing director here at Lock Haven, and we're so happy that you joined us today. Lock Haven recently, we are actually filming at Lock Haven. We recently went on a new little journey and adopted something new, a new program. We've added dogs as residents. They are part of our neighborhoods today, and so today, to talk to us about this, a person who is very instrumental here at Lock Haven in getting the program going and following through with it is Kelsey Hinshaw. Kelsey, welcome.
Hello.
Kelsey is the assistant administrator at Lock Haven, and she is also a dog lover, and we've just kind of worked together. There's been several of us who have worked together to kind of move this project forward and to make it happen and make it a reality. And most days we're really happy that we did, aren't
Yes,
we, Kelsey?
I agree.
That is right. We adopted our puppies through the Puppies for Parole program, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first off, tell us, Kelsey, how did Lock Haven just kind of get the idea that this might be something that we would like to do?
I think Lock Haven got the idea through the culture change movement. The state's really big on pushing for homes to be more like homes, the nursing homes. You're not going there to die, you're going there to live and live your life to the fullest, the last years of your life.
Right. And as far as part of homes, part of many of our homes, there was a pet involved in those homes, whether it was a cat or a dog or a horse or whatever. And so we did choose to have dogs as part of our home. And as I said in the introduction, most of the days so far have been really good days with it. And then, of course, we have to, just like a new puppy coming home, we have to get through some of those challenges. Talk a little bit just about what some of the positives have been, what some of the challenges have been.
Some of the positives have been, some of our residents have really, ones that never used to come out of the room have been coming out and meeting and greeting the dogs as soon as they've gotten here in the morning. Ones that are not responsive are starting to respond a lot more. They're really excited when they see the dogs. Some of the challenges would be Larry and Johnny. Some of them have never seen wheelchairs, scooters, floor scrubbers. So when they bark in the hallway, it's kind of, they just have to be introduced to it.
Right.
For example, out here, the fence post that's back behind us, Larry was scared to death of it. I mean, things that they've never seen before that they have to get used to.
And this is Larry and Johnny. Larry is a yellow lab, pretty much a purebred. Johnny is a mixed retriever. And very interesting, we will talk about the Puppies for Parole right now, which, go ahead, Kelsey, and tell our audience a little bit about that.
Puppies for Parole is a partnership between the corrections in the state of Missouri, the Department of Corrections, and also with the shelters in the state of Missouri. For example, where we got Larry and Johnny was at Algoa in Jefferson City. It's taken Fulton, which was the highest kill shelter in Missouri, to a no-kill shelter in the 3 years that it's been implemented. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, and you know, I just really like the stories. When we were picking the puppies, you know, we got to pick, we looked at pictures, and then of course we went to Algoa, but each of the dogs had a story. And for instance, Larry was had basically been raised in a home where he was kept in a kennel, a small kennel all of his life. And Larry is a big dog. And the owner finally relinquished him and said, you know, I can't do this to him anymore. And so then he went right from there to Algoa. And so it's probably why there's some of the challenges. What was Johnny's story? I'm trying to remember.
Johnny was one of 3 triplets, and they were just running the streets of Fulton, abandoned.
They were abandoned. So we like to think, and the program likes to think, that they are saving not only the puppies themselves from certain probably death at the shelter, but also it gives the inmates. It also, in a sense, saves them because they really have a purpose. It's been very helpful for them, and they have to really go through a pretty strenuous screening, and in order to get it, they've seen that behaviors have really
changed.
Yes.
they go through that screening process, but they've also seen where the inmates will, you know, better themselves. They want to be more involved. Also, a lot of the inmates at Algoa, for example, that's a step-down facility. When they get out, they are already finding jobs helping shelters or in the therapy programs that the dogs go to. A lot of them have gotten jobs there.
Right.
So.
I just want to thank everybody who's involved in this program. It makes it happen for us. I'm really grateful to participate in something positive like this. So thank you guys.
My first dog, and it was a great experience. I really enjoyed Skittles, and many of the people in this program, only a few really got to enjoy him because he got kind of scared. The rest of them think he's a pretty scared dog, but he's really sweet, and I'm gonna miss him. And as everyone says, it's helps you with your responsibility, gets you a little structure in your life. That was nice. 8 weeks went by pretty quick, and that was good to have. So thank you.
And you know, speaking of therapy, the first dog that actually came here, that it was kind of an experiment just to see what we were thinking about this, was a dog named Sierra. Mm-hmm. And she is in the Chicago suburbs, and she is with a child
with Asperger's.
Yes, with Asperger's. And just the story of that is just incredible. I think that they've actually featured that story through some of the deals. How do the dogs work here? Where are they staying? What's going on right now?
Right now, Johnny is staying with Wendy, who's the manager at RCF. He goes home with her at night and on weekends. When he's here, some of the residents have really taken to him, so they take him out. And also some of the other workers are really combining and helping Wendy out with that. Larry is mainly over in the Legacy facility. He goes home with our administrator Byron at night and on weekends, where he gets to go swimming and things like that. He has also been going a lot to the cottages. I think Larry thinks that he was saved by, Byron, and so that's why I feel like he is attached to him, but he's really starting, there's different members of our faculty that he's really starting to attach himself to and really venturing out by himself.
He is, and I think that with time and as he gets accustomed to the whole campus situation, he will be very comfortable in that. Not everyone likes a dog, Kelsey. Some people don't want, so tell us what you're doing to address that.
Some of the residents have come to us definitely with concerns about the dogs, family members. The dogs have a sense, though. They know what residents don't like them, and they just don't go to their rooms.
Right.
It's kind of, we really haven't implemented anything where the dining room, for example, they're not allowed to go in. They've never been taken into the dining room, so they just walk on past it.
They really don't go by. We have not really had.
Nope.
As a matter of fact, I like the story that you were telling me just a little bit ago about the resident who was in the dining room, and she is a resident who this has been a very successful program. She doesn't say a whole lot, but she saw Larry walk by and asked for Larry to stay there so she could be taken out to Larry because she knew he couldn't come into the dining room. That's great. Where do you see it going from here, though? If they're going home, are they eventually, what are you thinking about?
I think eventually I think they're going to have, the run of the building. I think they'll stay. I think that overnight and on weekends, they're going to have breaks, though, because like Byron and I were talking this morning about, Larry is a completely different dog from when he's at home. He knows he's at work. He knows this is his work. So it's just like anybody else. He doesn't want to be at work 24 hours a day.
That's right.
So I think definitely he'll be here a majority of the time, but he'll have vacations too.
Great. One last thing, and because I just really think that this Puppies for Parole is fantastic, we want to make sure that the audience out there knows that it's not just a facility. As a matter of fact, Lock Haven was one of the very first to adopt through the program. Anyone can adopt a dog, and since this is about seniors, if you are a senior, I know that when we were at the graduation for Larry and Johnny, there was a senior couple who did adopt a small dog. So just get in touch with the Missouri Department of Corrections. You can call to find out more information. If you can't figure it out, call here.
Yes.
We will get you in contact with them. Just call Lock Haven anytime, and we can make those arrangements. If you are website savvy, you can go right onto the Missouri Department of Corrections website and find the Puppies for Parole link.
Yep, on the link, and then it also has pictures of available dogs that have already went through the 10-step obedience training that are ready for adoption. So
Yes.
you can actually see their picture and their stories.
And we didn't say that, but all of the dogs are, they go
Rescue
through
dogs.
obedience training, though. They are potty trained for the most part when they get here. And for us, we actually had them do a little specialized training as far as working with walkers, wheelchairs, and also a little trick that we call man down, where the dog does, if they would happen upon a person laying down, that the dog would run to them, stay with that person, start barking until they are called off by another staff member. And
We'll be practicing this a lot. If he doesn't bark right off the bat, the command for that is speak. So we're supposed to be doing that training at least twice a day, so in different neighborhoods, so both dogs will eventually not have to speak.
so if you see us on the floor, we're probably just training the dog.
Another thing too is that we would like if the dog comes to your room when they're off their leash, and if you can't get to your nursing call button, go ahead and open your hand to them, and they will keep barking until a nursing staff comes.
Pretty
And that's the signal for them to stop is closed fist.
Release. Release.
There was 21 dogs
Release.
that graduated
Release.
yesterday. They
No.
all had
No. Sit.
As you guys have noticed, we only
No.
need 2 that's left.
No. No. I wanted to visit with a few of our residents who are the ones who get to pet Larry a lot, and Larry loves to get treats. We've actually armed most of them. They can come to the front office and get treats. They keep them in their room, and Larry and Johnny just make their way around Lock Haven into the residence. So, Florine Garvin, what do you think about the dogs? Do you like them?
Oh, yes, he's a beautiful dog.
Yeah. Larry he's so well behaved, isn't he?
Yes, yes, he is.
As long as you have a treat in your hand, of course.
Yeah.
Florine, did you have dogs before?
My husband did.
Yeah. What kind of dogs did he have?
Bird dogs.
Yes. He was a bird dog hunt. I actually remember that very well, that he had bird dogs. Well, we always had dogs in the house, so it's kind of fun to have the dogs here.
I had little dogs in the house, too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Well, I'm gonna move down the line here. Brenda, what do you think about the dogs?
They're okay.
Did you ever have a dog at home?
Unless my sisters had one, but I never had any.
So this is your first dog, is that right? Almost, in essence. Does Larry come and visit you very often?
Every now and then.
Yeah. Mainly, he is out and about. He's learning his way around here. The dogs have been here about 5 weeks, I think, and so we've just kind of slowly incorporated them out into the neighborhoods, and they just love going around and visiting. I think they get as much pleasure out of as the residents do. I'm going to come down here to Jean, who is there talking with Larry, who's decided to lay down. That's one of the things I've noticed even in the cottages. I was down there the other day, and Larry was actually down there for the day, and I walked into a resident's room and was visiting, and Larry came in and he just laid down. They like the coolness of the floor, and they just feel very comfortable. Jean, what do you think about the dogs here at Lock Haven?
I like them because I miss mine.
That's right. So you had dogs at home as well?
I had little ones in the house.
That's great. Well, we're enjoying them, and we're so glad that we have them here for the residents to enjoy too. So come out if you're ever in town and you want to stop by and meet Larry or Johnny. Johnny isn't actually here today, and we just have Larry over here. Johnny stays over in our apartments most of the time, and they're really enjoying him over there. He's more of a puppy than Larry is. Larry's a little bit older and maybe a little bit calmer, but still both of them are very loving. So come see us with the dogs.
Well, I think it's going to be great. I love dogs, and used to always have a dog, so I'm glad they're coming. In fact, I met one of them and petted it. They're nice.
I like the dogs living here because I had a dog and we was very close, and I miss it very, very much. And I just always loved dogs.
What do you love about dogs?
They're a nice company, and they go with you places until they get jealous and mad. You leave them in the car or something. But yes, I like them very well. I've always had one. Oh yeah, it's like taking care of another kid, that's for sure. You do it right, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea to have a dog, because I imagine people are some of them are lonely here, and a dog will help.
I have, by the way, a lab, so I know what they're like. And these two ding-dongs are going to be, I think, as they get a little older, they're going to be perfect for a lot of the residents. Simply because Lab is so mild-mannered. They train very easily, and these residents that maybe can't get out of bed to go see a dog or any animal. They say animals are the best treatment for our older citizens. They'll be able to see them, so the dog can come right to them. So I really do think you did a good job on picking out a lab for your residents here.
He's had Chesapeake Bay Retriever and
Johnny, sit. And he looks like
this is what he does all the time. Larry and Johnny. Yay! And, you know, if you don't want them, if they come in a room, tell them out. Tell them out. We've not seen them ever jump up on anyone, on any of the times that we've been down there. They've never tried to jump up, so we don't think. And if they're ever on your bed, make sure that you get them off that you tell them to get off the bed. No one, and no feeding them off the tables. So we're going to try to keep them out of the dining room. So we've told the dining staff that out. How many ever had dogs? How many of you had dogs at home? Cheryl. That's great. How many lived in the house with you?
about as many.
How many of you lived in the dog house with them? All your men. Oh. And now with me is Dr. Randy Miller of Premier Vet, right here in Macon. And I wanted to get Dr. Miller's view on seniors and animals and the bond that they have. And I'm sure that you see, Dr. Miller, when people come here, different levels. You know, you might have a youngster that has an animal, but when you have a senior with an animal, I have a feeling there's just a little difference. What do you think? Tell us about that bond between a senior, their pet, and the quality of life maybe that pet gives to the senior.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. It is a special bond. You know, pets are fairly simple creatures. We provide food, water, and a little attention to them, and they give us back a lot in the sense of a bond, in the sense of, I have many customers and clients that, you know, that are seniors that maybe live alone, and they rely heavily on that pet for not only companionship, but almost a sense of responsibility for them, and a friendship. It's a friendship, and they rely heavily on that relationship to fulfill a need of theirs, in their retirement.
Right.
So.
And I think really we think about, when you think about the perfect Christmas present for a little child is to have that little kitten or a puppy or something under the Christmas tree. And a lot of times that is really exciting, and that lasts for about 2 or 3 days until all Christmas is put away, and then mom or dad's taking care of the animal.
Exactly.
Whereas, I think that, as you said, for an older person, I think maybe the animal gets a little bit even more attention, than the little child.
Well, that's true. A little child has 100 things going through their mind at once, and like I said, an older person, like I said, in their retirement or in their when life slows down just a little bit, they have more time and to give the pet the attention it needs, and to keep up with its potty training, or giving. Most pets out there, unfortunately, probably don't get the attention they need when they live in busy family households, and older people can give them that attention. And that's why I think a lot of times I notice that most of the pets that come in here that are owned by seniors are usually some of the more well-behaved animals, because they get the attention they need.
Right. Well, we've been talking about, in our earlier segment of this, we've been actually showcasing our dogs, Larry and Johnny, of which you are their vet.
Yeah.
We're very happy with that. And so we've been focusing on dogs. What is, in your opinion, because there's a whole long list out there of animals that might make good pets for seniors?
Well, I've seen everything here, but the top two are cats and dogs, obviously, and I think cats are very low maintenance in general, and I think if you have somebody, maybe a senior that's got a lot of special needs of their own, maybe a cat would be a good choice, but there is something special about a loyal, loving dog that's hard to replace. But like I said, they're a little bit more responsibility for a certain for certain clients.
One of the things that we were very careful when we did choose the dogs through the Puppies for Parole is we wanted a larger dog for a couple of different reasons, so that a little dog sometime might be a little bit more of a tripping hazard. Not always. A big dog can be also, but also we liked the fact that the bigger dog could walk up and put their head, on the person's knee or on their lap or something like that. So
I think that's great. The breeds of dog you chosen are excellent for their job they have right now. I think it's great. There's something about labs that they're about the size. When a person when a person's sitting down, they're just the right size to come over and just be to show warmth and love and companionship. That I think, from what I hear, is doing quite well at your.
Do you see very many people with birds, like with parakeets and canaries? And
I don't around here, and I think it must be. I think it's definitely much more popular when you get into the larger cities, but I've seen a few, but it's not as popular around here.
Right, and of course it's kind of hard to cuddle a bird. I do know that there are people that do have birds. They enjoy them, and they can teach them to talk and do all those kind of things. Do you have any stories, Randy, as far as a senior and a pet that you'd like to share? Kind of putting you on the spot.
Well, that's all right. I do have one special client with a very special little dog that I see, and I don't know how much this pertains to this program, but this client and this particular puppy dog are very close. I'm very close to both of them now, because unfortunately I see them once every month or so, and with every little problem in the world. But I think as a veterinarian, I need reminded quite often how important these pets are to these people. And this pet is everything to this particular lady, and it keeps her going. She's in her lower 80s, and she still lives at home with her husband, but this particular dog really does it for this lady. And I feel not only a lot of joy when they come in and see how much she loves this puppy, but I also feel a lot of responsibility because this lady's quality of life hinges a lot on this dog's, on this dog being around. So it reminds me every time they come in here and how much these dogs really can mean to people.
Okay.
So.
And this program is normally about seniors, human seniors, but you probably deal with a lot of senior animals. As far as dogs and cats, let's keep it there. Any special things for senior animal care? What should a person be thinking about?
Well, we're all mammals, so a lot of things we see in humans, we deal with in pets. We do routine blood work and things to check on liver and kidney values for our doggies. We deal with a lot of arthritis, just like humans do as well. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, and we definitely recommend, especially in senior adults, yearly, if not every 6 months, checkups because things can pop up in a hurry. When you have a shorter lifespan, they seem to pop up quicker than even they do in us. So we do recommend that.
Okay. Have you dealt at all with any therapy type of dogs here in Macon? I wasn't sure that dogs specifically for service dogs.
Not really. I do some that do a little bit of that work, but it's not their profession, like yours essentially are. But it's a very common practice, and I think a very good one. So.
Oh, great. And we want to remind everyone as well that you don't have to have the highest pedigree, the most perfect show ring dog. For our dogs, through the Puppies for Parole, they came from a shelter, and we kind of like to think from the pound to paradise for these dogs because they're going to give us much love and affection as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So
I tell as many people that'll listen when they come in here, the healthiest dog is the mutt from the pound. Just that's how it is. They have fewer health problems, and their genetics are more spread out, to put it one way. And but I tell people that that's the very best way to find a dog, and it helps out an animal as well. So I think what you're doing there with adopting those dogs is excellent.
thank you very much. Thank you for being our guest today.
Thanks for having me.
Dr. Randy Miller with Premier Vet Clinic right here in Macon. And if anyone would like any information on Puppies for Parole, we would be happy to direct you there. Just give us a call at Lock Haven. Save a puppy. Give them a great home. They will be forever your pal. And we will see you the next time that we have a senior moment.